need a full oil change, a detail, top off the fuel, and don't you even dare think about getting it dirty or putting a scratch on it. Or let your mutt get close to it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I can do that for you. I'm your guy. Good. I hope you listen better than you dress. Yeah, get on out of here. Enjoy your little lunch. Your little lunch there, fancy pants. I got something for you. That was a very fine lunch. You better have my Mercedes ready. What have you done to my Mercedes? Well, I'm glad you like it. I've been working my tail off on it. And I give you everything you asked for, plus a little extra, but don't worry. She's on the house. I even scrubbed the tires for you. She's shining. You simpleton, you imbecile, you nincompoop. You'll be hearing from my lawyer. Welcome back to Extreme 4x4. I'm Ian Johnson. Today we're going to build an off-road machine that'll make even the plutocrats happy at the very top. That's right, here at Extreme 4x4, we're gonna take this uppity car and jack it uppity in the air and show you can have fine, exquisite taste, but still appreciate an off-road car. I don't know how to imitate Ian Johnson, guys. I just watched that show a lot as a kid. If you did not, I apologize, you missed out. They built off-road stuff and always had wild intros. It'd be like, do you need the intro guy at the beginning? Do you need to save money on taxes? Learn today how to build the off-road machine the federal government hates. When we get this Samurai running on biodiesel, and you get to live tax-free.
Today in Extreme 4x4 episode, our federal government would rather you not see. Ian and Jesse build a green Samurai that runs on fuel Uncle Sam can't tax.
Extreme 4x4 is the one who's taught me I don't even have to pay taxes. Thanks, Ian. Also, RIP to Miss Jessie Combs, who was the other half of the host of that show. Anyhow, guys, yes, this is happening. Right here, we have our Mercedes 190. I don't know nothing about them, okay? I just always thought they kind of looked cool. And I thought, what do you do to something that's this classy? And you do the opposite of classy. You make it trashy on purpose. Well, you can do it a couple ways. You can slam it down with like white walls and stuff like that. Or you could have this parts rig. This came with the short wide and this was just a failed project from a buddy, one he given up on, not failed, however you want to say it. I bought a bunch of C10 stuff just as parts. This thing has a motor in it. We got it running. The transmission did not seem so happy. That lift block does not look too happy. I'm sure that does not need to be centered up in there. Don't worry about that. The chassis underneath here is a Blazer chassis. They just adapted and put the C10 body on it. Oh man, I didn't notice that little dent in the door. Here's the thing. We want some of that body for old Roy. When we work on old Roy, we need the better fenders, doors, stuff like that. So we're gonna kind of combine them two. So I figured if we could go ahead and get that body stripped off of there, and then we've just got a chassis. I think we're gonna have to square that chassis up because she looks a little out of square, as you can kind of guess from that lift block installation. And then this thing should be pretty stinking close to the same wheelbase. So then I think we can take cutting devices, sawzalls, grinders, torches, plasma cutters. I get the hacksaw out if I need to. Boom! We cut it all up. Boop, boop, boop. We pick it up, put it over that chassis, try to get some mounts built enough to hold it into place. And then we put them 37s on it, hopefully, at the beginning of the video. And voila, you got the most beautiful Pot County creation ever created.
Can we fix it? Yes, we can.
Let's do it. Step 1, get the exhaust picked up. Yes! I just got so excited. My wife decided to host a big old 4th of July party. So now I have a goal to get this done where I can sit it out in front of the shop for the most American thing at the party. Even though it's not American. You know what I mean. Theodore! Don't hurt me. Good boy. Boy, you must slept good. Got that eye boogie. Do you want to ride in a Mercedes? Well, first we gotta fix the exhaust. Don't make me stink. All right, dude. Are there any rats in here? Get them. Are there any rats? Oh, did you drink an energy drink this morning? What is wrong with you? Hey, I told you quit drinking Starbucks. It's too much caffeine for you. Well, tie wire gets us fixed up, double strand. She ain't going nowhere. The electrician still's not got a skid steer. We're gonna utilize it. Hey, don't put this in the video, but I wonder how long I'm gonna be able to tell them that that's the electrician's skid steer before they figure out it's mine. Extreme 4x4. Step 1 was having a dream. Step 2 was getting them in here. Step 3 is tear down, baby, the best part. I'm okay. Race truck got that quick release hood. Let's see. Luckily, it looks like a lot of it is pretty quick release on whoever set it up. We don't want to just cut a bunch of stuff because we're gonna reuse as much as we can right in here. So let's just start doing what we can undo. Functioning petcock, fancy. Take your cap off, get her breathing a little better there. Heater hose 1, be gone. Heater hose 2, you too. Quite the cooler setup we got going on here. Yeah, slice and dice, you so nice. Oh, that puked some nasty stuff. Yucky. What is this? Oh, I think that's the vent for a front axle. Slice that. Remove this. Guys, this thing had a pretty little hot motor in it. I ran the numbers on it and it was like, for the heads, whatever code it was, pretty good little set of heads on it. That wire will simply pull out of our wire nut down there, then you can put it where the heater hose used to go. But I have a feeling like 5 bolts is holding on this whole little front end. No! There ain't even no hardware between that. I did not. This side's a little better. Shoo! 3 bolts. I'm actually quite impressed. definitely a much better fender for our good pal, old Roy. Another good fender. Hey! Don't look at them too close. I use good loosely. Now remember, our wiring was quite the mess. It is certainly not the best. Got all this coming off of our frame down here. All we need to do is get this out of here. How do these work? Gotta take off the big one to get the littles. And then we can remove that, which is going down there. And half of this crap's all been spliced on and cut on already. Maybe the occasional wire nut or four. Yeah, throw her in the cab. How long are you gonna take to drain? Till damn next week? Gah! That sucker was dry. That one's not. We're getting some fluid. This thing actually came with its own drain pan. My buddy knew it was going to be leaking everywhere when he pulled up to park it, so just bring your own drain pan. Go. Always a good sign when you gotta get your claw hammer out to make wrenches fit. This one decided to gravity bleed itself now, so we can bleed the brakes. Up next, it's about to be leaking all the fluids. Don't worry, radiator is still draining somehow. I'm hoping it'll be done by the time this video posts. Why am I undoing the power steering like I'm gonna pull the motor anyhow? I just wanted to make sure these would come off there. Just some proactive maintenance here. And now that I know they will come off there, we will simply just snug them back down. Disconnect that shifter linkage. Now let's head down under. Have a little look-see. Of course, we got our cab bolts up front. Well, cab's fairly solid. Looky there. Little surface rust right there. I mean, but not hardly any. Our brace back in there's all good. I didn't realize we had such a solid cab here. Yeah, this side not so lucky. Got a little bit of rot in it, right in there, but once again, nothing terrible. Don't worry though, to make up for that little bit of rot, she's got the high performance cab mounts here and the high performance park brake cable. Now back, they did some custom fabrication, it does appear, to be able to get a cross member right up there. Two. 1, 2, scooby-doo. Skeep bop bop by shoo shoo. I am not mad at their little cross member they whipped up for that cab mount. That's pretty good. We may even have to cut them right off there and make them hold on a Mercedes. Mercedes. Oh, Theodore. Take you a little nappy poo. That sucker is still draining. I give up. This thing may be like you got natural springs that produce water. This thing just produces antifreeze. Cab mounts, wiring, brake lines, shifter, steering, I can't think of anything else. Oh, what sticks up through the floor? Nothing. I don't see why we can't whoop, 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 pick that sucker up. That don't sound good. That didn't sound good either. No! Say so. The tire ran over my battery and broke it. What's the worst that could happen? 13th floor, please. Woo! We have liftoff. I don't see any danglers. My last concern was our ear here hanging out, catching that. Looks like we're gonna clear. Send her to the moon. Got some nice dirt dobbies underneath our graveyard of spider webs. Little rubbing going on right there. Hitting our transfer case. How do you shift this sucker? There's nothing going up in there. That looks plumb worn out. U-joints flopping and a knocking. That yoke don't look the greatest. Right here. We got the triple yoke front drive shaft Supreme. Oh, headers. They went full commit. We ain't got no dang collector. We welder solid. Mama didn't raise no punk, by golly. I said the old cross member though. Look at that. They even got all fancy and beefed her up, or was that missing some metal? Oh yeah, they scabbed some stuff together, didn't they? Because that's spliced together there. So then brace it. I mean, still for scabbing together stuff, the fab work's the most impressive. Trimmed us a piece of our hose, slapped that on there, trying to keep our mess to a minimum. Now we got a problem. Look, there are ants living in that or something. Have a little brake cleaner, huh? You like that? You like that? You come into the wrong shop, buddy. I told you, I am not the one. My name's Winston, and I will call my dad. Look a little closer and wipe some grease off right there, and pretty sure I found our shifter finally. Oh, something just changed. Back to neutral. Well, transfer case is shifting. If y'all know anything about these, let me know how concerned I should be about that right there. Dang, so our single cross member holds all of this. That holds our transfer case holds the transmission. Boy howdy. Oh, look at the support rod that goes from, all right, we got one on that side. Nope. Hey, we definitely want to pull this off. It's one of our better pieces from this. Nice little shifter setup. Trim our TV cable down. That end's trash anyways. And I know this is silly, but we could take that off, but then that's open. And I'd rather keep that covered just to keep out of there what we can keep out of there, even though we already know she's trash. Probably gonna go ahead and pull off what's left of our plug wires here. Probably pull our distributor cap off too, just for, well, maybe not. I don't know. We'll leave it, and then we may have to pull it when we start trying to make it fit our Mercedes.
Hello car, name brand, very fancy. It may be fancy, but someone boogered up that aluminum nut with his locking pliers.
It's been 4 long decades since I started draining this radiator, but I think it's finally almost empty. Goodness, about time I should have. Don't do it. Don't do it. Walk away. Walk away. I knew it was still gonna freaking leak and make a mess.
sucker's all there. She's heavy. Dang! Thing started doing some dubstep. Beat up, fins collapsed. It's seen better days. I see something I don't like. Holy cow. Yeah, that's a bad sign. Well, these here are, those mean, holy cow, how much is this thing? Shoo. How crooked is this frame? Front looks wonky. That makes me nervous because why are the rivets out of there? So when I had this crazy idea, I don't know, months ago, literally months ago, Slick was over. I said, hey, let's grab a tape measure and go check wheelbase of the Blazer frame, meaning this thing. And when we checked it, checking it off both sides, I could tell that the stuff wasn't square in there. Now, then I seen like that lift block and how it shifted. I'm like, okay, maybe when they lifted this thing, they didn't get it quite squared away. Standing right here and looking, the whole front, that frame rail, frame horn, this frame horn is shifted over, the whole thing. The real question here though is how much is this shifted? Is it a little bit? Is it a lot of bit? Is it a waste of time what we just did? Who knows? Stay tuned, find out. Extreme 4x4 will be right back. Call me crazy, but I swear I can see that axle in there crooked. This is gonna be a tighter reading, and then this will be a further one. 102 3/4. 104 7/8. Pretty ballpark. Don't ruin my dreams before they can even happen. I think this one's bent back, which shoves that back. And then this one's bent over this way, which then pulls this side forward. And I think if this straightened up and that straightened up, it would shove that one forward a little bit. That'll shove back a little bit, and it's gonna square us up. The answer, or the question is, I ain't got an answer yet. The question is, how in the heck are we gonna do that? Beat on it with a skid steer until it lines it up, or what? You don't think the problems are just gonna be up in there, do you? Kind of like standing at the front. I can stand here at the back, and I can tell our rear end's in here crooked. 27 5/16. 26 3/16. Once again, very small difference. No one will probably ever know or care that this thing drives down the road like this, sideways. When I checked the front, I actually checked it off this, so our front measurements aren't gonna be accurate. Guaranteed it's still out. What we need to do is a couple cross measurements back here, make sure this frame ain't out of tweak, which I don't suspect. It looks pretty good. 36.5, 36.5. So, like I said, I think that's pretty good. I think our out of alignment is in the lift kit. Looking for 38.5. We are good. So, let's clean up our U-bolts, and then we're gonna loosen that, tweak on it, try to square it up. Once this is square, then we have something we can base off of our measurements for up there. We're gonna knock that straight somehow. Yeah, it's all gonna be fine. Get your wire wheel down, take them to Looby Town. Man, it smells good. Oh. Yeah. Sounds like a cow. Whew. Let's get the cab out of here. Holy cow. We had a stereo system coming back here or what? Just want our tires to barely touch. Holy Freddy Krueger face. What is that? Look how pitted that drive shaft is. Quality! Nothing but the finest for the Mercedes. After you wire well them and lube them up, I prefer to just cut them off where you wasted all that time. Three out of 4. I really don't want to mess up our U-bolts because I guarantee you I ain't got none that big. Passenger side ones came right on out, no fight. So what I'm gonna be curious is, do we have dowels? All right, there is one on the bottom. It's gonna go into our perch there. That's gonna keep us lined up. We should have the head of the bolt from release spring down there. Yeah, that fits good. Driver's side over here, this was down. There goes our dowel. And looky there, there ain't no way. So that's why this one was offset so much, because they were dropping the head of that bolt on this side in one of these holes, whichever way it was favoring. It's towards the back, I think. And these are angled, which is good. We don't mind a little correction of the pinion. I think as long as we clean out that little hole right there that's packed, we'll probably just try to go back together, and I bet it'll square it. Square it! Come on, square it! Do you believe in magic? Three and 3/8, 3 and 3/8. Clean her out, sit her in, get where I can make sure we line that up as well. There we go. I seen it fall down into place. We're on our, we're where we need to be. About 26 and 7/16. 26 and 3/8, come on, huh? That's within a 16th. No, it ain't dead nuts, but for what we're doing, we'll take that. Ha, 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 ha! Apparently that nut don't have any threads left, but that's all right. 3 wouldn't hold it, 4 never would have. Depending on where we end up at some point, we'll have to get a new U-bolt to replace that one, because them threads are no good. The good news is the rear end is square. I just checked it again after tightening everything, and it's dead money. 26 and 7/16 on both sides is what I'm measuring. Measured from the front of the axle tube to the center of this knuckle here, 103 15/16. Check this side, 105 15/16. Exactly 2 inches difference. Exactly, used roughly there. We gotta be careful on what we're tweaking, or we're gonna tweak too much. This came forward an inch, we get at the 104 and 15/16. This side goes back an inch, we'll get at the 104 15/16. Then everything would be happy. Now all we gotta do is figure out how to whoop all this back into shape. Shoot, that's progress. I think that got us closer. So it looks to me like that frame's over that way. I can't imagine why. Of course, stuff may be leaning some from me shoving on it. I'm just gonna kind of bump it back that way. Try to get our side to side looking pretty good, because I measured that front axle is in there crooked. I measured up to a bolt head on one side, then a bolt on the other out to the threads. That's an incorrect measurement. So I do think we need to loosen that front hardware and line it up better up there. But first, I want to get our side to side a little better. Oh, I whammied the valve cover. It's all right, she's just an old chrome jobber anyhow. So let me show you what I was half seeing out there. I was getting sweat in my eyes, couldn't see very good. Our front to back is out by 1 inch now. We start off with 2, so there is progress tweaking that stuff. I messed up on our front to back measurement originally that I said we need to check before you shove it out there, because like I said, I got threads coming out here. Anyways, I checked it in a different way, and it is off at least 1/4 inch. So we still got 1 inch to go, but we're off a 1/4 inch there, so that'll make up some of it. I know this is gonna sound crazy, but I can tell you that standing here and looking down it, it looks better. Before you could see there's a lot of funkiness going. Now you can see we've got it close to a little funkiness. A repeat of out back. Just get everything loose here. So interesting, as I loosened up that side, I loosened one nut and the whole plate moved, like bad. So one U-bolt was not tight at all over there, just ran down till it hit snug. And then the other one wasn't very tight at all. Forget we got shocks and sway bars and other stuff hooked up to this one. If we got some 4-inch lift blocks in the back, you experts, how's this thing lifted in the front then? Is that a leaf spring? Just take our sway bar end links off. How is that so difficult? So here's the deal. I think relieving that pressure of them U-bolts freed up some stuff. I don't know if we had tension pulling this way or that way, because there really ain't a lot of slack in there. Those bolts line it up. I just dropped everything back down and I measured it out, and right now, from the rear to the front, we are 7/16 out. We are very close. Still trying to figure out where we're out or off here. Rookie mistake. The bolt on that side's broke. I reached down and felt that one, and it clicked into place. I went over there. That one looked lined up good, so I just assumed it had clicked into place. It was not clicked into place. There ain't nothing to click to. Oh, Susanna, did you cry for me? Yeah, that thing's got some potatoes. She's all there. She's gonna fight me till the end. Our middle spring is moving around, so if that ain't lined up, we can't drive that back out that way. Ha-ha! Boy howdy. Whenever they smack the front of this on whatever they smacked, they put a hurting on everything. I ain't got a proper bolt, but do not fear. I've got this bolt and a belt sander right here. Gotta be better than the broken one. Kill. Slap it all back together. I pulled off the sway bar, the shocks. That crap don't matter right now. Stuff's still out of the funk. Just on the little front area. Best I can tell, I think that frame rail on our passenger side, I think it's tweaked forward. So we're gonna try to shove it back. Maybe the last little tweak we need to get everything where we're happy with it. Also, it's like 4 o'clock. I didn't plan on this whipping me all day, but I didn't know this frame was in such bad shape. here we are. We're gonna hurdle these roadblocks, okay? Ain't nothing gonna stop me. Oopsie daisy. It rolls better downhill. Give her hell. A mean little hit like that's what it's gonna take to shimmy that back the way it should be. $21 and 11/16. 21 and 9/16. That means our axle's finally within, what's that, 1/8 inch? Even better than we were hoping for. It's gotta be 5 o'clock. This thing's with me all day. 4:54. We'll be back on her in the morning, folks. Theo, I got it.
This is a Mercedes 190. Here's the key. Park it and don't you dare scratch it.
Good morning. It is time. It is time to tear into this old Mercedes. Bought it out of a junkyard in Kansas. Got this little 4-cylinder going, and we may have tried to hop a hill or two out in the field.
There it goes. There it goes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, caught air. And the door's all open.
She was good to us for a little bit, but it's time we take it a step further. Let's start tearing into this rig. Never really measured wheelbase. It'll be fun. It'll be all right. We don't got to measure wheelbase, nothing like that. If we cut it all out of here, get it all out of here, it'll have to fit, right? This car does not have a frame, so we got to take off. What's weird is there's no mounts for this cradle that holds our motor and stuff back here. We got this, tying this to this. And whatever mount we have up there, that's pretty much what holds it. This is what keeps that from ripping out. So as long as we disconnect our sway bars, then our steering stuff back here, slice some exhaust. Of course, transmission's got to be able to drop out with it. How about we just start cutting stuff and think about it later. That answers that question. I thought that was gonna have some tension on it. I was scared to cut him. It's like he wants to come out of here and live a better life. That ain't how you remove your drive shaft? She got the gold mine, I got the shaft. Did that knock some sense into me? Probably not. Probably not. I don't know how these rusty bolts keep coming out. That's some good tie wire there. We may have to reuse that in a little bit. Gonna remove the transmission cross member. I think the motor and all that will support it. We're gonna support the car just in case it wants to wobble or shake. I think we ain't gonna have that happen though. Yeah, not too shabby. Speedo cable, some wiring, hydraulic line for our slave cylinder, a couple shift rods. Looks like we may even have a ground up there. Quick pass through of the Sawzall on that, and we'll be able to be ready to lower this unit back down. Go to the top side. I think I can hear the Mercedes lovers crying right now. Let's sit her down. Yeah, I forgot she's from Kansas, land of AHs. Most folks don't know this, but AH is a ass whipping. Dang, what are you doing, old pigeon-toed Polly, huh? This thing's like, Aha! There's the notorious upper mount. Pull! I was snipping a long snip. I'll drain the engine a little quicker. Please be catching that. Please be catching that. Almost forgot our throttle linkage there. It has 14 cantilevers. I think we pretty well got her all disconnected. That ground I seen from underneath there, I realized when I was on the bottom side, that's what's holding all of our weight. That's what kept the transmission from falling. So we're gonna use the old extender here where our hand's protected. Oh, well, didn't have it that much. Better safe than sorry, I reckon. I think we can try picking this up. I was gonna say, that should not go with us. Looks like we got it all. Oh, the choke will get you. She's free. Next, we're gonna try to get the rear, where we can drop it out of there as well. A couple brake lines. If you're gonna do something stupid, like cut an arm that has a spring on it with tension, be smart about it. If you're gonna be stupid, be smart about it. You can see I've got that chained through as much of the coil as I can to the rear end, because when we cut this, it is gonna have some tension on it. Also, you don't wanna stand right underneath it because it's gonna pop down. So when we go to cut it, we'll have to be off to the side. You see that crowdy chop? You do not want to be underneath that. Springs will kill you guys, so be careful. And if you did not see the video where we got it running and I showed you this, check out this independent rear suspension Mercedes had engineered up. It's like a solid rear end, but they pivoted it in the middle. Another spring up there. She's wild. Hi. Cut that. Give her a smack. Now whatever that is coming up through the trunk, and our two shocks coming up through the trunk, that's what's holding us.
Mercedes-Benz.
This taillight's in bad shape. I thought she came with another one, but this is driver's side. Ooh, a little extra bumperette. I don't even know if we ever got in the trunk of this thing before. She's got all kinds of trim. Every manual you could think of. That's what we wanted though. It's our emblem for the grill that's missing. Ka-chow. The Mercedes-Benz was so fancy that it came with a map of Europe. There's France, there's the Netherlands, Iceland, Norway, Italy. It's all on here. Where's the motherland though? Where's old Germany, huh? That's actually kind of cool. Other than that, we got a whole lot of trash. did find one of our old bill of sales. The buyer was Kate Allen Montgomery. We bought her from Les Stuber. Sale price was 350 buckaroos. Paid in cash 300, paid later 50. Had a Spot 50 on it. Look at this death machine. If you ain't seen one of these, check this out. This here, down on the bottom of these, there's gonna be a hole you stick this in. About like so. Then you take this. Yeah, that's a ratchet. Then you just simply jack her on up. It's working too. You need to lower it down, flip your ratchet, lower her back down. There's holes in the back and the front.
Next, we will reveal what's behind the curtain. More floppy floor. And another lug wrench. Got our shocks up there. Our last mount up there. That mount still has her somehow.
That's one way to do it. Oh, that was a beam.
That's one heck of a mount there.
Let's move our lift points. I should have done that before we just lifted it up. We're gonna go out here where you're supposed to jack the car up. That way I can finish stripping off stuff like our brake lines, those mounts we'd cut. I'm just gonna strip the rest of this little crap off here.
All that little crap.
Now before we drop her down, I just want to show y'all how much rot is in this car. Like right here, you know, been collecting sand. She's rotted all the way to the back, all the way down, across here, still in there. This whole corner is dropping out where we need to put our floors. Your spare, some more of the trunk floor. And down this side, front floors are falling out where the driver's seat is. These are one of them cars where if you find one that's fairly nice, you're just money ahead to buy one because they're not worth a lot of money. Put the old out of here, let's bring the new in here. Oh, baby, I've been dreaming of this for months and months. Wanted to build something like this since I was a teenager, actually. I hope this matches up, kinda, somewhat, sorta. Yeah! Steve Ho. Here we go, our first look at how bad or how good is it. Let's just pull that fan and distributor cap real quick. Get out the way. That looks pretty good right there. Ow! Goodness! Bags touching. That old pivot point for our old arm is hitting right on top of that frame. Have we hit anything yet? I don't know how, but we ain't. I just set that Mercedes body on there. It is on. The front of that looks atrocious. We'd have to figure out something to clean that up some. From the side, everything's looking pretty dang good. One, that is sitting on there with rake. So those mounts, we're gonna actually cut them off and try to get this to drop down further. Two, those are hitting, but so are those. So we need to take off the custom fab cross member. And then three, we're pretty centered up on the rear, but not so much on the front. The whole front of this thing needs to shift over this way, probably 3 to 4 inches. They didn't cut no corners. That's fancy right there, grade 8 hardware. I knew these two fancy rigs were meant to be together. Tell you what, before we lower this back down to see what's rubbing next, why don't we get the right wheels and tires on here where we can start factoring that in as well. Much better. Ooh, sweet mama. Those are 33s and these are 37s. It's only a 4-inch difference, but them 4 inches really count because those things look massive compared to them. We're getting closer. I do believe the front's being held up by that shifter linkage. She's still sitting with a little rake favoring the front. So if we could get the back down, it'd be a little bit better. And to do that, we're gonna have to start cutting on some floors. Whoa! I don't know what kind of metal that is, but it's putting on a fireworks show. And today is actually the 4th of July. Meant to be. I don't know if that was dangerous or not. Way go, baby. I swear, man, it wasn't me, it was the tire. I've been sitting here staring at it and chuckling for about 10 minutes. My cheeks hurt from smiling. If you look away for like a minute and look back, it just gets better. I don't know how anyone couldn't not be excited about that thing right there. Back here, it's a good thing notched out that floor. That allowed it to sit down. Now our floor's sitting on top of our frame on both sides. Wheelbase is stinking spot on. I swear Mercedes knew that Chevrolet was gonna make a K5 Blazer 4-wheel drive that just needed to go underneath one of these things. We can't drop the body too much more because the corner of our rocker on the back side is gonna be getting close to that 37. We want some clearance there for a little flexibility. So that's about as low as it can go. Now the bottom of the rocker looks like it has a little rake that way, but these body lines on the car kind of go uphill. So if I get the body level by spacing the front up, it actually makes it look like it's doing that dumb old Carolina squat with the butt drag. because all the body lines are running downhill. So right now the body itself looks pretty stinking level, unless you just eyeball the rocker specifically. What I'm saying is, I don't think height-wise we can go any lower, and then front and back, I'm pretty happy with that. See how we're sitting there? We're doing the same thing over here. I think we could build some rock sliders and cover up some of that frame. From the side view, over here looks so good. When you get to the side where you can see the frame hanging, the big eyesore of all of this is the front. So in the long run, we definitely have to figure out how to build a bumper that kind of looks four-wheel drive-ish, but could work with that. It could probably be done. We just need to find a way to fill all that gap up there. 12 3/4. 12 3/4. Let's check our side to side. This corner's down for some reason. Yeah, happy with that. Let's see if she measures good after we set it down. Just trying to get us half squared up before we start entertaining mount options. Right there, let's say 23 1/8. Over here, let's say 23 1/8. We like that. All right, yesterday, I spent a lot of time out here with my tape measure, guys. Just when I thought I had that thing centered up, I thought I was happy with it. I did some other measuring and it was off. Here's the problem. Well, the problem's kind of self-explanatory. The frame's tweaked. Everything's bent on. We did the best that we could to get it back. And yeah, I centered up everything using our front frame. The problem is, and I know this from trying to square this up, our frame is good, this body mount back. Our frame's tweaked, that body mount forward. So you square off anything up here and get it centered, and then you check the body off the frame back there and it's off. Not real surprised, we kind of knew what we were getting into at the beginning of this video. So what I've decided to do is we need to square the body off the good cab mounts towards the rear, because we don't have a lot of time into this Blazer frame. I did measure all the springs on the front because I think that's where we get our lift. I'm not sure. That transmission's got to come out. At that point, the transfer case has got to come out. At that point, you've only got like 2 bolts holding the engine in. If we found a good Blazer frame, we could swap it out like that, especially if we build the car body mounts to the Blazer mounts that are good, they're back. Hopefully that makes sense. What I'm saying is, if people really like this thing and they want to see it finished out or whatever, we may be better off to find a Blazer chassis that ain't plumb tweaked on. I mean, this one's looking fine. Nothing to worry about there. Yeah, that's the damage that happened to get this thing to be somewhat close again. So, with all that being said, I spent an incredible amount of time making sure this body is side to side, all that type stuff good, off our front mounts and some rear mounts. I got to do the job twice so we could really get it where we want. Now, like I said, I think it'll be really smart to build our, ow, ow. Do not lean your shin into that. You will feel it. It didn't move a hair. Oh my goodness. Oh, all right, we're still good. Had to make sure I could dance. We're gonna build some mounts, and we want our cab mounts to line up with these mounts. It's gonna be big and ugly, but when we build guards, you won't see them anymore. It'll be okay. I looked in our scrap cabinet, had this, what is that, about 1.5 inches or 1 inch by 3 inch, I mean. I'm thinking, see that? That's solid right there. That's part of our subframe from the car. And out here, where you're allowed to jack on this car and everything, she's pretty solid. So we're gonna kind of eyeball that across there and get that piece where it can tuck up in there and weld across there. And then we can build down off of that. So step one, Let's sit her up there and eyeball it. Make sure it's going pretty straight. If we like it there, kind of give us a reference mark where we know where to go back to. And then let's take that and match our angle. Huh? Aha, that's what we need. Square that edge, square that edge. From this side, just connect your dots. Woo! Let's cut it. Put that up into place. Just marked it where the edge of the rocker was, where we can cut it off. That way we can go do a little bit better mock-up. I also forgot to mention, I have a suspicion some of our measurements being off, maybe in that front axle being bent, which would also help us during our whole frame swap. If we do it, I don't know yet. Only thing is, I don't want this hanging down below this. So we're gonna look at notching it right here. Or we can shove this rusty floor up out of the way and just come right in here to this lip. Got a mark on this side, got a mark on this side. Now we're gonna cut that like so. See, I cut that where we can shove that right up there. Luckily our floor is ready to be moved. Solid. That is running uphill a little bit, but that's okay. That didn't shove up as high as we wanted in that corner. Got a little gap we're gonna have to weld. But they call me Sir Jumps a Gap, so we ain't scared about that. With that across there, we can just simply set our factory cab mount right there. And now we'll look at probably dropping down off this, coming to a platform here, coming up off of it. I'm probably gonna come take this one out to right here. So we probably wanna get this piece full welded. She's pretty crude, but she's burned in. For the mount itself, we're gonna need some 3-inch wide, 1/4-inch thick strap. That stuff right there. Yeah. Square our end and cut number 1. We're going for 4 inches. Find center, mark it, drill it to a 1/2-inch hole. Little flap attack. Slap her in place. Oh, one problem. That's bigger than a 1/2 inch. They're tightened down. Now we just gotta play connect the dots. We'll cut a piece of strap that goes from here up to there, and then one from here out to here. Let's go 5 1/4. Tack, tack, looking good. Measured over here. we're looking about 5 3/4 out to in here-ish. Hey yo, that's a mount. That's a Beefcake Supreme right there.
Beefcake Supreme!
Did you come to check out my new mount? Woo! A pit bull riding around in a lifted Mercedes. I'm gonna have to get you a, well, we already got Theo a bow tie. We're gonna have to get him a classy one. No sharks allowed in the Mercedes. Nothing but class, my friend. So that's our quick and easy mount. Got at least one side welded on each one of them joints. We can weld the rest after we lift the body eventually. So now, gotta get the driver's side caught up. The good news is, before I ever welded in our first piece of tubing, I took that piece from the passenger side, tried it on the driver's side, fit perfect. So, I set it here, traced it out, where this piece will end up exactly like that one. Boom, 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 cut the other 3 pieces, drill a hole, weld her up. We'll have that side matching in no time. Wham bam, thank you ma'am. It's a good sign when all the stuff that worked on that side works on this side. For now, front mounts, done. I don't know if we'll make it to it this go around, so I'm just gonna mark it when I'm here. But right there, we could come up like so. Right there, draw us a line. Now if we play connect the dots and cut that square off there, we could cap that. That'll keep us from rubbing there, which is what's holding us and has us aligned. But now with that, we could separate that. Not that it probably matters, but I'm just showing you, you got options. Next, we're gonna do 2 things. 1, finish welding them real easy. 2, looking at our rear mounts, we got a little grinding to do. Got this side welded, that side welded. Hopefully it'll held it. Now, we got these holes here from the factory. My problem is they don't fit this body mount that we have. So I wanna see if we can waller this hole to fit one of these. It's a good idea, but that ain't gonna work. It's 1 7/8 by the time I center it up. Then we can't get this on the bottom because it's gonna hit the frame. I noticed that if we take that little guide, that fits that hole really tight. So what if we put that on there, but we cut that part of the mount off, or we just have that, we let that locate it, that bottom piece can still go on there like that. Then we are full using factory mount. Let's just go modify this setup. The only problem with cutting that and everything shifting over this way is the washer that cups that centers up to it. So yeah, we're gonna have to cut on this as well. Our frame's underneath there, and if we cut enough where it can shift over, I think we'll be all right. Got a little bit of our washer off. Drop that in there. That goes up there. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Woo-hoo-hoo! Yes, sir. That'll just sandwich all that down, and that allows us to use our factory mount. Perfect. Got this side all trimmed up as well, so now we can leave those sitting in place. Bring her back down and figure out how to actually mount it. We got about 1.5 inches in between there. I'm gonna grab some 1.5 inch tubing. Chop it to about 40 inches and see how that fits. Just lay her on the mounts nice and straight across there. Centered it up side to side. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's good across there. See, all this out here is solid. So in the center, it's hitting sheet metal, just floor. But all this out here, where all the shocks and all that, nice and solid. That would freaking hold just like that. What's wrong with that? Why can't we just weld that? Oh, we can and we will. We just gotta drill some holes first. So we'll have to get some longer bolts, and those two should come up through our trunk. That's simple enough, as long as we can figure out how to mark it. Let's get underneath here. Let's reach up in there, give that the old markarooey. All right, besides that, looks like, well, I guessed pretty good on how much to cut that sucker. 40 inches was just about the magic number. Let's mark along where we need to grind and clean up, where we can do some welding. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than to be good. I done told yous. So if we take that and set that bolt down in there, this side, I noticed this one don't have a bottom to it like this one does, that actually centers up. So we're gonna swap to this one and hope that'll go through there. Beautiful. Now let's set it down with those bolts in there. And I'm hoping those bolts are gonna shove on the sheet metal floor and kind of indicate where they're at in there. I hear some tension. My bolt got wedged and it shoved this before it, yeah, that ain't no good. Let me get her lined back up here. Perfect. Rolled chassis back a couple inches, both fell right in. Back here, how are we looking? That bolt looked a little crooked last time. Come on, baby. Much better. Acted like I was about to hop up in there real quick, like this thing ain't just a freaking monster to climb into. Ugh. Hammering kind of made us a circle right there and right there. Think we're looking good. Beautiful. I can see the bolts in there. Nice, straight up and down. All that is set down. Just gotta do a little welding. That ain't going nowhere. Helps if you go the right way. The helping hand of our old pal locking pliers up there. We can get these ones tightened up.
Hey, bro.
Beautiful, it lines up so beautiful.
Oh, she's hard to roll. Yeah. Oh, I'm super excited to see it away from the lift. Oh, 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 baby. Yes, sir. I think I'm gonna just clean on it real quick. Probably wipe the windows and hit her with some tire shine. Yeah. She's as slick as she's gonna get without getting slick on it to buff it out for us. Now I had to get back to my get up so I could finish the skit that was at the beginning of this video. I almost forgot it. Guys, I'm loving how it's looking, especially with the little shine on it. I wanna see it outside. I think seeing it outside from a distance is gonna be a game changer. How's she look? If you said pretty damn awesome, I do believe you're correct. Man, seeing that frame's kind of ugly. A little hideous, actually. It's better if you stand at an angle. There you go. That looks better. That's as, like I said, that's about as low as we could go without doing major chop up of the thing. Worrying about this wheel well to keep distance there and everything. I'm happy, guys. Like I said, I think we built a nice little slider of some sort. We could maybe do a couple pieces of tubing. Add a little piece of sheet metal, some dimple dies or something. We could make something look okay there. Come around the back. The back is fine. You can see the gas tank hanging a little bit, but you can't see too much of the frame. I don't know why I was showing y'all the E-haul talking about this. That bumper looks pretty good there. We could almost drop that bumper down like 2 inches and help hide some of that. Just split the difference there. Up front, lock those horns off. And like I said, maybe follow some tubing along there, come in off the edge some, drop it down. I think we could figure out something to work. A few accessories to hide some of the body lift we have going on there, and I think we'd have a real show winner on our hands here. I'm happy with our progress. This was not expected this week. We are mounted. Show y'all how these ones turned out. Really simple. That worked out well. Like I said, look at the wheelbase on this and how that matches up. As simple as it is to build some mounts, I'm telling you, it's like these two are just meant to be together. So that's it for this go around, guys. Y'all know I've been having help with editing, but editor's out of town for a couple weeks, so that puts the editing back on me, which is no big deal. I just got to account for it because it does take a lot of time. I hope you like the Mercedes. I know a few people was commenting like, I can't get excited about it. I can't get excited about it. I don't think a lot of people realize that that's what I'd been picturing doing to one. So that's a little bit of a curveball for you. I hope y'all like it. If hopefully it excites you, let me know what you think down below. Depending on how much love it gets, would depend on how fast we mess with it again. I'm kind of liking it, but I'm in no super hurry. So we'll just kind of play her by ear and see how it goes, and go from there. I'm on the Instagrammer, I'm on the Facebooker, I'm on the Patreon, puddins.fab.shop.com for that good quality merchandise. And much other than that, I will see you guys next time. However, do not forget, sitting on your ass will not finish your project. Had to show you here at the end a little comparison. We got the tow roller and the mud-cedes.